everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now before I actually get into today's video, I want to apologize for the lighting. I tried to use natural lighting, but literally within 30 minutes it went dark. So I've had to resort into using my lamp, otherwise it would be way too dark for me to record with natural lighting. Anyways, like I said, welcome back. For today's video, I thought I would go through a few mistakes that I made during my degree apprenticeship application season. Now, if you don't know already, I actually ended up applying quite late into application season and I managed to secure my degree apprenticeship on my 5th application. However, I made mistakes in the other 4 applications, and considering that law degree apprenticeships are so competitive now compared to when I applied, of course you want to minimize the amount of mistakes that you are making overall. Here are 5 degree apprenticeship application mistakes which I made which you can avoid. The first one is so minor, but I feel like so many people overlook it, and that comes with the initial application and your grammar. You can check over an application 10 times in the evening and feel like there's no grammar mistakes, but then as soon as you submit that application you realize you made a mistake somewhere. This is what happened to me. I ended up submitting an application, going back over it, and I realized I made silly spelling mistake. Something that I wish I would have done then is drafted up my application, gone away for a few hours or left it for the evening or the day, and then came back and review it with a fresh pair of eyes so I could clearly see any mistakes I made. I feel like this would have helped so much. I would have minimized the amount of mistakes I made and possibly gone to the next stage of the application. The second thing is actually applying late. Now, if you are in year 13, you would know that as of the date that this video is uploaded, we are midway through application season for degree apprenticeships. Typically, degree apprenticeships open up the year before in September or October, and then they usually close around March, April time. I ended up applying during February when most of the applications had actually closed, hence why I was only able to apply to 5. If I could go back, I wish I would have started applying way sooner. And if you are in year 13 and you haven't started applying yet, I would recommend jumping on it now because there are still applications that are open that you can apply to. If you are in year 12, of course it's great to be aware of when the application season window is. I would make sure that you have it noted down somewhere because unlike university applications, you submit your apprenticeship applications as you go along. Now the third thing is that I wish I had a good tracker. Now, as I said, I applied late, so I didn't really have time to actually make a good tracker to track when apprenticeships opened, closed, location, pay. Having a tracker is key because you can easily list out everything in front of you, you'll have access to it, and you won't miss key deadlines. In the tracker, I would include the pay, the location, the apprenticeship level, a link to the website, and of course the vital deadlines of interviews, when applications open, when they close. Another thing to definitely keep noted is whether that application is on a rolling basis or whether there's a set deadline. Some firms might even end up closing their applications early because of the amount that they receive, so make sure you keep an eye out on this as well. It's why I always say keep a link to the website no matter what. And my fourth thing relates to law firm research. When I was doing my applications, I thought research, okay, it's quite brief. All you have to do is know where the firm started, the location, and a couple of the areas that they specialise in. Nothing too big. However, I never realised how handy your research actually is when it comes to supporting your applications. Some of the potential questions that you could get asked relate to the firm. For example, why do you want to work at X firm? Or what interests you about X firm? So having deeper research can support these questions so much. It also emphasises and shows the firm your interest in them. I would try have a look at their values, their initiatives, their achievements, really look at what areas they specialise in, and even have a look at some of the cases that they've worked on in those areas that you're interested in. Of course, it truly allows you to explain why you want to work at their firm specifically, which of course is going to increase your chances of securing that apprenticeship. Now the final thing is I did not practice any online tests. This goes for those simulation tests and those Watson Glaser tests. Usually when you apply for an apprenticeship, you might expect to have one of these tests pop up and you actually have a time frame to complete those tests. Now, instead of having the initiative of practicing some questions or watching videos on them, I decided to just go straight into it and try it. And I did not realise how tricky these tests could actually be. I wish that I had gone back, either searched on YouTube or had a look if there was any free tests that I could do before I actually did the real thing. It's going to make a difference, of course, with preparation. You feel more confident actually taking that test and hopefully passing it and moving on to the next stage of the application. Those are a few of the mistakes which I think that I made when it came to actually applying for my degree apprenticeships. And of course, if I went back, I would definitely not make any of those mistakes, and I would make sure I prepared properly beforehand. Do let me know if this video helped in the comments below, and of course make sure you leave recommendations as to what videos you want to see next. I'm aiming to post every week consistently, and if I do not do that, you guys can hold me accountable.